Welcome to this presentation on engaging students in standard-based grading. Let me show you how I've done grading, standard-based grading. You could do it differently, but I think it's really key that you show students this and have them, give them an opportunity to see how their grade can work out using standard-based grading. So here's the sample grade sheet I would allow the students to have, and so they could keep track of their score throughout the semester. And with the grading scheme, I would show them here how that works out. So, for example, this course is Applications of Thermodynamics. So this is kind of Thermo 2, looking at all the applications. And so looking at specifically Otto or diesel cycle, it shows up on quiz 9. So I had quizzes to start a lot of my classes. And then I had an exam 2, which there's a more story behind it. That's why it's in quotes. This was a checkup, and which I'll explain what that is. And then there was quiz 14 was a third time that it showed up in the course. And then this was the final score for this particular, I called them targets in this class as opposed to standards, but this is the final score that they would get for this standard. All right, so going to the number score. So this is for Brian Regan. It's a comedian, if you are familiar with him on YouTube. So made up name there. Say quiz 4, they do satisfactory. So they get a 3. Now, I haven't tuned this score, but again, they always get more than one opportunity, so kind of ignore this 1.5 for now. But say they get a 3 on the first one, so they're doing satisfactory, that's great. So then if in exam 2 they then get a 2, they're still going to get a 3 overall for the class if there is no quiz 14. So you can see the other ones, there's a blank here. That means that they're not going to have a third opportunity. They only have 2 opportunities. So this one they would have 3. But anyways, at this point, he has a 3 in this class. And I'll tell you why I did this. So my philosophy here was, okay, you got a 3, and then you went down to 2. I'm going to give you a benefit of the doubt to say that either you're just having a bad day and just did, a little bit poor on the exam 2 standard where auto diesel cycle showed up, or I didn't grade quite right or whatever, and so I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you get a 3. However, if you go down to a 1 on that exam 2 problem, then you will go to a 2. I'll give you the average between 3 and 1. All right, you did show me at one point you had this level 3 knowledge, but then you did drop down to this 1. So I'm going to give you the average of those 2. Then on quiz 14, I'm going to compare you against where you are on this checkup, this 2 spot. All right, so if we go to quiz 14 and then you get a 3, hey, you go up. So anytime you go up from a previous score, you automatically get the higher score. If you go down, in my scenario here, you always have to go down 2 ticks. You have to go down, so for example, from a 4 to a 2, and then you're going to get a 3. All right, if you go from a 4 to a 1, you're going to get a 2.5, the average between the 4 and the 1. But if you go up, if you go from a 1 to a 2, and then you progress to a 3, you end up in the course of a whole, you end up with a 3. And so this is a way that I can show them, or students can maybe even toy with, play around, what if I get this, or what if I get that? They can see clearly, hopefully, what's happening here, and that, if I do poorly and I get a 1 and a 1, but hey, I show up and get a 3 on quiz 14, you get a 3. And what I'm hoping that they see here is this is really showing what they know by the end of the class. So you can get one student that says, hey, I'm going to do the best I can possibly do, I get a 3, and then maybe I get a 2, I get a 2, and then I get a 3 to finish the course, maybe even a 4, let's say it that. All right, great, they're doing well, they're pushing hard, they're succeeding throughout the process. Maybe you get another student that says, yeah, you know what, I'm going to blow off the first 2, and then, then I'll put the effort on the last one and try to bring it up a bit. Okay, that's fair. I mean, again, you're going to show me what you know by the end of the class, but understand that if you're going to play that game, there's a chance that you may not bring it up that much. And though you may bring it up to automatically get that 2, maybe a 3, you probably could learn more if you focused on your stuff up front. And if you didn't get anything back here when you had a chance to first get exposed to the material, rather later on in the course when we start covering other stuff, you may not have a chance to bring that up much. So whether that's something you present to the students or it just comes up organically as the semester goes on, those are things I've seen, or I've seen throughout the semester. All right, so that's the example I'd show them. They'd have access to this. They could make a copy of it and then track their own grades as they go through the class.